Stephanie Manu and the backs of her BC Angels are against the wall. Can they rebound? Find out next on LFL Saturday Night Football. You are looking live at downtown Vancouver and beautiful British Columbia. Hello, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us. Alongside Bobby Huco, I'm Van Earl Wright. And Bobby, here we go. This building is rocking. It truly is a playoff-like atmosphere.
Without a doubt, Van Earl. Two teams with two different mindsets tonight. Let's look at the standings right here. Toronto is sitting 0-2. They're playing for respectability tonight. They need a win. They haven't had a win in franchise history.
For BC, though, on the other hand, they still got a shot to participate.
Absolutely. They're 1-1 right now. If they win tonight, they'll be 2-1 and sitting in driver's seat.
Indeed. BC has shown a lot of good and a good amount of bad as well. For more on this Jekyll and Hyde edition of the BC Angels, we take you down to the field. And the third member of our broadcast team, Mitch Mortaza.
Well, thanks, guys. I am down here on the field with BC warming up. They are coming off a tough loss, 22-18 against Saskatoon on the road. They're a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team because this is the same team that won 41-18 right here on their home turf against the Regina Rage on their opener. This is really simple for them. They have got to get Stephanie Manu off because she is arguably the most impactful player in LFL Canada. Establishing the run game with Stephanie is going to take a lot of pressure off Marianne Hansen in the passing game. So look for them to establish the run early to set up the pass. Back to you guys.
All right, the stage is set. The kickoff for LFL Canada is next. We are rocking downtown Vancouver for the home team, the BC Angels, trying to get the crowd even more fired up. Mitch Mortaza down on the field with one of the Angels' star offensive players.
All right, thank you, guys. I am with Stephanie Manu, arguably the most impactful player we've got in LFL Canada. Stephanie, talk to us about what you guys got to do tonight to improve on that loss against Saskatoon.
I think we really just have to work together. We'll be really working on trusting each other and committing to everything we do 100%. So we really need everything on the field tonight.
Well, you guys got your work cut out for you, but everybody seems to think you can be a workhouse tonight. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Mitch, thank you so much. As you take a look at Devine Burton, one of the nastiest players in all of LFL Canada. Christine Moore will have the kicking duties for the Angels. Toronto will receive. Shauna Pinnock at the goal line, handling the hard bounce, taking off up the right side and throwing the forearm, punishing the would-be tackler. Shauna Pinnock expected to carry a big load tonight. The Toronto offense needs a pickup, Bobby. They have been struggling.
Pinnock is the key tonight, though. I'll tell you what, she can run as good as anybody. Her and Stephanie Manu look for them to have big games tonight.
1st and 10 from their own 13. Villa Gonzalo back to pass and planted by Kate Marshall. Kate Marshall knows one of the big keys tonight is preparation.
The only reason we were successful in that first game is because we knew our assignments and we swarmed the ball. And that's what we got to do tonight to come out with that win.
Kate Marshall, a big spark plug. She's all over the field for BC. She's got 6.5 tackles and very underrated around the league.
That sack of Marshall's resulted in a loss of 8 yards for Villa Gonzalo and Toronto. The pitch to Shauna Pinnock. Up the right side, another bruising run by Pinnock.
A basic power sweep. The bus driver, Petshona Pinnock, taking the kids to school for 10 powerful yards, plowing over people. One of those powerful backs in the league, Van Earl.
Absolutely. 5'8", 140 pounds. Goes Petshona Pinnock as we take a look at the offensive starters for Toronto. And Pinnock, again, expected to carry a big load in the running game offensively. They are quarterbacked by Mouse Villagonzalo. 3rd and 8. Pinnock again, wide open. She is off. Toting the pig. Touchdown, Toronto on their first possession of the game. 3 offensive plays in, and Pinnock and the Triumph jump out to a big lead.
Just a straight handoff. Pinnock right up the gut. Holding the pig and going in for 35 yards right off the back. What a start. Unbelievable start.
And to show you what kind of strength, what kind of power Pinnock possesses, this is the bruising run that she displayed last week for Toronto. Knocking people over, throwing people aside, left and right, refusing to go down. Her numbers for Petshona Pinnock, very impressive, Bobby.
She is one of the top backs. She's a rookie, just learning this game, but right there, 7.3 yards per carry.
BC defense, wow, they better get it together. Jessica Hopkins, a big leader on that defense. And the quarterbacks, Kate Marshall, Ashley Petrie. They need to get it together right now. Villagonzalo and the Triumph fired up with that opening drive touchdown. Now lining up for the conversion. The point after, Villagonzalo keeps it herself and gets it into the end zone. That was a 2-point conversion. Toronto jumps out to an 8-0 lead.
Quarterback sneak by Villagonzalo. Great blocking up front by Roxy Rowe and Tiff Russell.
Mouse Villagonzalo already 6 picks. So she is fired up and ready to redeem herself. Toronto takes over on defense. Baronish and McCrary, 2 strong safeties. Devine Burton, a very nasty defender. We will show you more of what Devine Burton is all about. Offensively for BC, Heidi Nordby having struggles at center. Stephanie Manu, the workhorse, toting the pig for the Angels. Marianne Hansen is the quarterback for the BC Angels. 1st and 10 for BC from their own 15. Just underway, but already BC is trailing 8-0. Handoff to Manu, right side. Good, strong, energy-filled run, Bobby.
She can go. I'll tell you what, watch her legs. She runs a lot like Roger Craig did. Watch these legs do never stop. People on her back, people behind her, keep the legs going, just like Roger Craig. She is going to be the top back by the time she's done in this league.
Here you see Marianne Hansen wearing the helmet cam. We'll show you some video from that angle. Cool angle to feature in LFL. Manu with the carry, pickup of 3 yards. Now Toronto, as you see Devine Burton getting in Manu's face, Toronto has quickly established themselves as some nasty players. Here's a recap of some of their questionable play and late hits. That was against Regina.
Devine Burton, one of the nastiest players in the LFL, also one of the most talented, but she talks a lot of trash out there.
Here are the numbers for the BC offense. Very good points scored per game, right under 30. Looking to duplicate that tonight. 3rd and 2 for the Angels. Again, the handoff to Manu. Good strong run, taken down by McCrary and Burton. But Manu able to pick up enough yards for the first down. Just under 5 minutes to go. Already an action-packed start to this BC-Toronto contest. Marianne Hansen, the quarterback, with play instructions. She knows she needs to improve in her play.
Look, I realize as a quarterback that I need to be more consistent for this team to win tonight.
Plenty of focus and intensity for the quarterback of the BC Angels, number 7, Marianne Hansen. Right now facing a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, looking to the air. Down the left side, got a person. Oh, just a little too long there, Bobby.
Marianne Hansen, she has the tools, but she has been inconsistent. In her first game, she was sharp. Her drops were sharp. She was throwing on time, ball right on the money for touchdowns. She stood in the pocket, waited for her plays to go open, throwing the ball down the field. Great pass for another touchdown. But in her second game, she was not poised, throwing the ball up in the air, into coverage. Everything she threw up was getting picked off. Not the technical stuff she had to have to play good at quarterback.
And still, though, despite the bad performance in the second game, a quality quarterback rating of 155.3. The handoff to Manu. Oh, all kinds of room. Threatening the end zone. Stopped just short. Great run by Stephanie Manu. Picking up the first down. She knows she's ready to go tonight.
Stephanie Manu, in the first game, she had 108 yards rushing. Incredible for a rookie. She ran right through the Regina defense. Right through them, right around them, plowing through people, running unconscious. Incredible runs against Regina, but in the second game against Saskatoon, they were ready for it. There was no blocking up front for her. She only ran for 44 yards total the entire game, and they stopped her up. I look for her to have a big game tonight, though, Van Earl.
These are Manu's numbers for the season for the BC Angels. She just had a great 18-yard run, and that has put the Angels on the doorstep of the end zone, now working from the 2-yard line, first and goal. Marianne Hanson keeps it herself and gets it in. Touchdown, Angels. Oh, here, they're busting out the turf, Angels, Bobby.
The Snow Angels back in town. I like it. Marianne Hanson did that on her own. She had absolutely no blocking here at all. She carried Pinnock into the end zone. Pinnock, if she would have been attacking, could have stopped Hanson for no gain.
Crowd loving it here in Vancouver. The defensive numbers for Toronto. They have been rather Swiss cheese-like, very porous. BC now huddling up for the conversion, the points after the touchdown by their quarterback, Marianne Hanson. Hanson working from the shotgun. Bad snap. Heidi Nordby, we mentioned it. She has been struggling delivering the snap to the quarterback. And again, that raises its ugly head.
I think Nordby thought that the quarterback was under center. You got to be able to feel the quarterback's hands. She snapped it like it was under center, not in the shotgun. There's been trouble all over the league, it seems, this year with quarterback and center exchange from the shotgun. Sometimes they're 9 yards back, sometimes they're 4 yards back. Should be about 5 yards back.
Here's a look at BC's defensive numbers as you take a look at their head coach, Kevin Snell. He's hoping for some improvement on those numbers. First and 10 for Toronto. Villa Gonzalo back to pass. All kinds of time. Now tucks it and runs up the right side, picking up some good yardage for Toronto. A gain of 7 yards for Villa Gonzalo. Tackle made by Jessica Hopkins.
The mouse, Villa Gonzalo making like Pinnock right there, throwing an elbow to Jessica Hopkins, of all people, an all-league player, a forearm to the face. She's showing why she can do it in the air and on the ground.
2nd and 3, and they give it to Petshana. She is alone, picking up 4 yards and picking up a first down. Tackle by Nordby and Hamer Jackson. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Toronto across midfield, now at the BC 24-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter in Vancouver. Pinnock in the backfield. Villa Gonzalo under center. Little play action, looking to go to the air, looking down the left side. That one sailed on her, went way out of bounds, intended for Roxy Rowe.
Play action pass right there. There's a hold right there. It's a wheel route. The hold would have been open for a touchdown.
Devine Burton wired up tonight and complaining to the refs.
Hold it! Hold it! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What are you watching? What are you watching? What are you watching? Turn the flag! Turn the flag!
That's the kind of inside intensity you'll get on LFL Saturday Night Football. Villa Gonzalo back to pass for Toronto. In and out of the hands of Pinnock on a down and out pattern. Now to be 3rd and 10 for the Triumph.
Great coverage there by Jessica Hopkins, the all-LFL player. She had that covered like a blanket.
Final minute of play here in the first quarter. Toronto should have plenty of time to get off at least one more play as they face a 3rd and 10, 1 yard in to BC territory. From under center. Pitch to Crystal Hall. That did not look like a very well executed offensive play. No gain for Hall, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter.
Not executed well at all. A bad pitch out there, late pitch, a horse collar right there by Hammer Jackson. Great defensive play, but a poor executed offensive play.
We have reached the end of one here in Vancouver. Rockin' and rollin' start to this edition of LFL Saturday Night Football, highlighted by Pet Shauna Pinnock toting the pig for a 35-yard score. We are through one quarter of play. Toronto on the move, already with a 2-point lead at 8-6, but right now it's a 4th and 10 for Mouse Villagonzalo and the Triumph offense. Working from under center with Pinnock in the backfield. Little play action. Oh, nice completion to Crystal Hall down the left side. Oh, almost into the end zone. Goes out of bounds. Huge pickup of 23 yards down to the 1-yard line.
Sensational play, straight man coverage. Crystal Hall comes straight across. What you do with man coverage, you get an opening. In traffic, she makes a great catch, a great throw there by Villagonzalo. Toronto's looking strong today. As you can see there, Crystal Hall is the go-to receiver, 15.2 yards per catch.
You've been saying all season long, Bobby, that Toronto needs to go and utilize Crystal Hall more. Those numbers certainly reflect that opinion. Now a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Villagonzalo keeping it herself and scoring the touchdown, although sticking that football out there way too dangerously.
It seems to be the new LFL trend. 1 yard to go, every team's doing the quarterback sneak. The LFL defenses have to suck it in together like Greg Schiano does for Tampa Bay and stop that quarterback sneak.
Greg Schiano making it into LFL Saturday Night Football. Now Toronto lines up for the conversion after the score, going for 2 points on this conversion. Now with an 8-point lead after their 2nd touchdown of the game. Both Toronto touchdowns have come courtesy of their offense, which came in struggling. Giving it to Crystal Hall, but stopped well short of the goal line. Conversion no good. That pitch play looks kind of sloppy in the offensive backfield, Bobby.
Terrible execution there by Villagonzalo. It's a basic eye sweep. She doesn't get the ball out there in front. It gets late there to Crystal Hall. She bobbles it or she would have scored the points.
Kevin Snell has to organize his BC Angels. They are getting stomped on right now by the visiting Triumph. The Angels not looking so sharp right now in front of their home crowd, trailing by 8.
Both defenses are on their heels. You can see why the defense has been the problem all years for both teams.
BC Angels take over. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Handing it off to Stephanie Manu, right side. Taking on the would-be tackler and making him pay for even thinking about tackling her. As Jaleesa McCrary, the free agent from the Philadelphia Passion, with the tackle of Manu. Run good for 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Angels from their own 19-yard line. Hanson again working from under center, and again handing it out to Manu, this time working up the left side, and again showing and delivering the punishment to the tackler.
For some reason, when Stephanie Manu gets the ball, she sees hope. She is such an old-school runner. She punishes people. She gets the yardage, and then she runs through people. Right there was Jaleesa McCrary taking punishment from Manu.
A gain of 11 yards, good enough for a 1st down for the Angels, so they too are moving the ball offensively. 1st and 10, now in Toronto territory. A little end around to Elisa Garcia, left side, plenty of room, down inside the 5, and taken down.
Great call by Coach Snell.
However, we've got a flag on the play.
They fake the ball to Manu, and around the backside comes Garcia, and right there you can see the clip and a little bit of a hold right there, and it nullifies a big gainer. Awesome call by the coach, and look at this, it's almost going to score, but right there's the hold, brings it back.
That is a tough break. A referee tonight, Mark Newlove, as he and his team of officials try to sort things out on this flag. Hey, Mark.
Holding.
Mark, over here.
Number
Mark.
13 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
He is no Ed Hockley, Bobby.
Definitely doesn't have Ed Hockley's physique. And Van Earl, it looks like we got the LFL officials back from the NFL.
From their days of replacing in the NFL. Oh, another reverse for the BC Angels. This time the handoff to Elisa Garcia, but Crystal Hall was ready and waiting for that. No gain for the Angels.
You can do it once, but not twice. The same play, Crystal Hall, the all-league cornerback, was waiting for it that time.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Angels. Marianne Hansen in charge of the Angel offense, working from under center. Back to pass, looking down the left side, and taken down. 2 Triumph defenders with the sack of Marianne Hansen. Alicia Emerson and Roxy Rose getting credit for a half sack each.
Great call, the corner blitz. Watch Emerson come there untouched. It looked like Dick LeBeau's call. LFL defenses are looking great, Van Earl.
The BC offense not looking so good, certainly not good enough for their head coach Kevin Snell. Timeout on the field. Toronto with an 8-point lead. Vancouver, the sparkling metropolitan area that it is. Speaking of sparkling, head coach Kevin Snell of BC doesn't really think his offense is sparkling right now, kind of sputtering here in the second quarter. Some 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. A 3rd and 14 for the Angels. Handing it off to Stephanie Manu. Plenty of running room on the left side, picking up the first down. Another hard, tough run from number 8 in blue, Stephanie Manu.
Grab the marshmallows, Van Earl. Stephanie Manu is on fire tonight. She's running all over everybody.
Should I bring the Hershey bar and the graham crackers as well?
What is that called? I forget.
That's the s'mores. Come
on. Of
pal.
course. Let's do it.
It's a first down for Hansen and the Angels after the gain of 16 yards by Manu. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for BC. Hansen working from the shotgun, throwing right side. Caught. Touchdown, Ashley Petrie. Touchdown, BC Angels. Ashley Petrie with a little Green Bay Packer type celebration.
Watch Hansen. Her eyes go left, then a quick stop pattern over there. Great pass underneath coverage for a touchdown. She's quick as a hiccup. I'll tell you what, that's the Marianne Hansen we know right there.
That's the Bobby Duco we love. Those are the numbers from Ashley Petrie. Outstanding. 8-yard TD play for the Angels, now lining up for the conversion and the points after the score. So they sputtered a little bit in the middle of that drive, but picked it up after the timeout. And now they're trying to tie Toronto at 14 apiece. Oh, they looked like they had it easy, but a flag has been thrown.
Again, a problem with the snap. I think the center was late. Was that Roxy Rowan there? I think the snap was late. Everybody jumped. The ball wasn't snapped.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
So the Angels will back it up 5 yards and again try for 2 points after the score as they try to match Toronto's scoring output over the middle. Good defense. Incomplete to Kate Marshall, so it'll remain a 2-point Toronto game. But again, a good drive overall by the BC Angels. 7 plays, 35 yards.
We got a barn burner here, Van Earl. 14-12. Hansen looking great. Kate Marshall actually should have come down with that pass in the end zone. Should be a tie ball game.
Toronto takes over on their own 15. They've scored on both of their offensive possessions. 1st and 10 for the Triumph. Pitch to Crystal Hall. Lots of running room. Threatening the first down. Pushed out of bounds by Garcia and Nordby. A pickup of 7 yards.
Now that's the way to run this read. I formation, you got the lead blocker out there. The quarterback steps into the pitch. It looked like a pro sweep right there.
Approaching the 2.5-minute mark of the first half. 2nd and 3 for Villa Gonzalo and the Toronto offense. Petshana Pinnock, the lone back in the offensive backfield. Villa Gonzalo from under center, a little play action. Straight drop back, plenty of time. Incomplete, but a flag on the play, and that looks like a little PI against BC. Pass interference.
If there ever was a good defensive penalty, that's it right there. Again, running the wheel route, almost mauled her tackler there. Would have been a touchdown. A good defensive pass interference call, stop the touchdown.
Crystal Hall was the intended receiver.
Defensive pass interference. Number 4, BC. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Billy Gonzalo and Toronto. Now working from the Angels 17-yard line. Everybody's ready to go for the referee. Here we go. Billy Gonzalo working from the shotgun. Off of 1st and 10. Good snap. Drifting right. Looking downfield. Oh, picked off. Picked off by number 11 in blue, Elisa Garcia, and look at her go. That is stepping it up big time when the Angels really needed it. Great defensive play by Elisa Garcia.
Just when you think Billy Gonzalo has it going, here she is. She's a lot of time, but she throws it into double coverage. There's absolutely nothing there. Sometimes the mouse has a great engine, but a lot of times her hands aren't on the wheel. She comes up with bad plays at the worst inopportune times.
We've hit the 2-minute warning of the first half. Toronto still leads by 2. Downtown Vancouver, the site of yet another rockin' and rollin' edition of LFL Saturday Night Football. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, BC takes over after the great interception by Elisa Garcia. Quarterback Marianne Hansen working from the shotgun from BC's own 15-yard line. Looking to go to the air, now tucks it, runs up the left side, plenty of room, picks up the first down, and takes a shot to the neck and head area from Crystal Hall, but not after picking up a first down and a flag on the play.
Great play there by Hansen. It looks like, is that Alicia Bell down there hurt?
Indeed it is, number 10 for Toronto, Alicia Bell.
Oh, that's not a good sign, Vander. That's a great player. I hope it's not serious.
Holding. Number 16 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Heidi Norby, the ringette player, at inopportune time came up with a hold right there. Nullifies the 20-yard gain by Hansen. I'll tell you what, that's the bad time for that to happen.
It's a bad time for Alicia Bell as well. Still feeling the pain after getting roughed up on the previous play. But it looks like she's going to be able to walk off. Kevin Snell trying to rally his troops. Toronto head coach Steve Moore taking advantage of this break in the action as Bell makes her way to the locker room a little early for halftime.
Looked like a need there, Van Earl. I don't hate to see that. We already lost Stevie Stewart, great player already to an ACL injury. Hopefully that's not the same thing for Alicia Bell.
1 minute, 40 seconds left for Marianne Hansen and the Angels. Hansen working from the shotgun on 1st and 17 after the holding penalty. Keeping it herself, picking up good yardage. Little gang tackling necessary by Toronto to stop the BC quarterback. Clock continues to tick.
Hansen looks like a different player today, Van Earl, like she did the first game of the season. Without that interception, this is a great ball game. But Hansen, I'll tell you what, she wants to make the playoffs. She's showing her stuff.
Working from the shotgun is Hansen. Going down the left side. Dude, got a receiver. Beautifully caught. Elisa Garcia down into scoring position. The BC Angels ready to get on the board right before halftime.
Coach Snell calling a great game. A straight streak pattern right there. The speed demon, Elisa Garcia, got behind Divine Bird. What a great call.
So Garcia makes the interception to kick off this BC drive. As you see her numbers as an offensive player, a wide receiver, and now she makes a great catch to put the BC Angels on the doorstep and give them a great opportunity to take the lead going into halftime.
BC
Encroachment. Defense, half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Again, our referee, Mark Newlove, letting us know what the flag is for. 1st and goal for BC from the 3-yard line. 61 seconds left in the first half. Hansen from underneath center, handed off to Manu, and a big defensive push by the Toronto defenders. Wow,
Pinnock came in like a Mack truck. She's devastating on offense and defense.
The clock is still running, and there's no sense of urgency down there for Hanson and the Angel offense. They're huddling up. They're wasting precious time, Bobby.
I guess they get huddled. A lot of time, they just spike the ball like that.
After a huddle, Mitch Mortaza down on the field. What do you got on this clock management?
All right, guys, it is 3rd and 5. As you can see, BC is just struggling here in the 2-minute offense. They ran off a good 30 seconds there, and instead of just clocking it, lost 30 precious seconds. Back to you guys.
Excellent point, Mitch. That is lousy clock management. Toronto trying to get organized defensively to prevent the Angels from taking the lead into the halftime locker room. Okay, the clock has stopped. We'll start again on snap of the ball. Hanson looking to go to the air. Got a receiver on the right side. Caught. Pushed out of bounds. That will stop the clock. The referee signaling for the clock to be stopped.
Hanson looking poised in the pocket, looks left, goes right, hits Jeanette Jackson on an out pattern, almost gets him, but gets knocked out on the half-yard line.
Clock is stopped. 4th and goal. 1 yard line. 4th and goal from the 1 yard line for the Angels. 30.5 seconds left. Hanson from underneath center. Manu in the backfield. Handoff to Manu. Easy walk into the end zone. Great clutch drive. Great clutch score by Stephanie Manu and the BC Angels right before halftime.
You have to give it to the franchise. A little counterplay right here to Manu. They fake go left, counter back to the right. She almost walks in. I'll tell you what, Stephanie Manu is having an incredible game tonight, and it shows just how important that interception was by Villa Gonzalo with a 14-point swing.
Angels now have the lead for the first time in the game as they line up for the conversion after the score. Hanson from underneath center, keeping it herself and getting it into the end zone. The conversion is good. That was a 1-point conversion, so it'll be a 5-point BC Angels football game as we hit halftime, barring a miracle play by Toronto.
Hanson on a quarterback sneak. Stephanie Manu pushes her in the end zone, kind of like that liner play at USC a few years back that won a national championship. This is only for an extra point, but great play by Stephanie Manu right there, pushed her in for the extra point.
The BC Angel fans loving the rally by their team late in the first half. We'll see if Villa Gonzalo's got a Hail Mary or a miracle play for Toronto. Going for the reverse, double reverse, and a flea flicker. Right side, wide open, caught. Beautiful play. Donna Paul with the pass. Tiff Russell with the completion. First down for Toronto.
It's a great play. Donna Paul, the old quarterback. She's got the gun to do it. It shows the old gym rat. She's an all-around athlete, showing she can play receiver and quarterback.
She got pushed out of bounds. When you get pushed into the wall in LFL, that's out of bounds, so the clock stops. Now for an update on Alicia Bell's injury, we go down to Mitch.
All right, guys, 15.2 seconds left. I'm with the medical director for the Western Conference, Daniel Bonilla. Daniel, talk us what happened with Alicia Bell there.
So she kind of tried to plant and she was getting cut. She got blocked, her leg really got stuck in that same spot, and so she unfortunately tore her lateral collateral ligament right now, so she's gonna be done for the rest of the game, but we'll get her back and playing for the rest of the season. So we'll see what happens later on.
Excellent, thanks for the update, Daniel. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mitch. That's not good news for Toronto and their head coach, Steve Moore, losing Alicia Bell and her playing skills for the rest of this contest. But the focus right now is on Toronto, who is 15 yards away from retaking the lead and being the last team to score before halftime. Villa Gonzalo taking the snap from the shotgun, looking for a receiver in the end zone, tucks it and keeps it herself. Oh, that's a big gamble. The clock continues to tick, and Toronto is trying to scramble to line up, trying to clock it and stop the clock and get off one more play. There is the whistle, the halftime whistle. Toronto, poor clock management. You got to go to the air, Bobby.
Villa Gonzalo thought she could get in by the run, but with only 15 seconds left, you have to throw it up in the end zone. If you run like this, a great stop there by Air Marshall to keep her out of the end zone, but you have to throw the ball in the end zone to have a chance to score.
We have reached halftime. The home team, the BC Angels, in charge, 19-14. Back with our halftime activities.
Listen, you're playing hard. You're playing hard. You're not playing with enough heart. And you're not playing hard enough. You can't just be good enough. You have to be the best. You played football in this first half.
Yeah,
you played it.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sure you felt it.
Yeah, we did.
But you didn't play enough football in this first half. Everybody's got to play possessed.
Yeah.
We are
That is Toronto head coach Steve Moore trying to fire up his Triumph team, especially after that tough turnover right at the end of the first half. Bobby, how'd you see the first half?
Both teams played great. The second half, look for Pinnock and Stephanie Manu to control the game. Two powerful backs. Look for them to pound it out in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Toronto wasted no time getting on the board. Third play from scrimmage. Headshot of Pinnock. Dropped for 35 yards for the first score of this game.
And then BC answers with an 18-yard scamper by workhorse Stephanie Manu, pounding it down the field. Also, Marian Hansen takes it in for one right after that. Ashley Hammer coming up strong from the secondary. Fourth collar and Pinnock.
Toronto answered Vela Gonzalo, the quarterback sneak. But then Vela Gonzalo picked off by Elisa Garcia of BC.
And then on the other side of the ball, Garcia going deep behind the secondary, catches Hansen's bomb.
From there, Manu scored to give the BC Angels a 19-14 lead at halftime.
The halftime stats are pretty even right there. You look at rushing yards, passing yards. The only big difference was that turnover. The Vela Gonzalo interception, which was very, very costly. Time of possession even. A great game except for that interception.
It's a 19-14 BC Angel lead. Back with the second half right after this. Before we kick off the second half, we take you down to the field and Mitch Mortava, who's with the two quarterbacks.
Welcome back, guys. We are getting ready to start the third quarter of action. I got two of our starting quarterbacks, both having incredible halves. First, you, Mouse. You're coming off a couple rough games, but this first half, you're putting up some points. You're finding receivers in the open field. What's different about tonight versus the start of the season?
I think we're just really coming together. I think our season started really late, I feel. Our training camp was late. So we're finally getting we're finally clicking.
Best of luck in the second half, all right? Mary Hansen, you're also got a little bit of a comeback going here. You're finding receivers. You and Garcia hooked up a couple times there. What do you have to do in the second half to kind of stay competitive and maybe win this one?
We just have to own the field, play by play, work hard. These ladies can do it. We can do this. This is our house.
Best of luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Mitch Mortava, Bobby Huco. Got to be the best-dressed sideline reporter in sports television history.
He's dapper down there, Randall. I'll tell you what, looking good.
Absolutely. All right, Toronto will kick off to begin the second half. Stephanie Budasil with the honors. Here we go. Ashley Petrie takes it at the 7-yard line. Goes left, comes back right. Pretty good return out to the 21-yard line where the BC Angel offense will get it going, hoping to pick up where they left off at the end of the first half.
It's a big series for BC right here. They're trying to get into playoffs. They have to have this win tonight. This is a huge series for them right now.
It has been a little surprising in this inaugural season of LFL Canada to see how well and dominating Saskatoon has been. But as Bobby mentioned, if BC can grab victory tonight, they will be right there and in full contention for the Lingerie Bowl, as you see the first half numbers of Marianne Hansen, a quality quarterback rating. 1st and 10, handoff to Manu, going left, cuts back right, picks up good yards. Looks like a gain of about 7.
Stephanie Manu looked like she carried the entire team there for 7 yards.
Devine Burton credited with the tackle. So it'll be 2nd and 3 as you see the yardage put up by Manu in the first half. That's very impressive, Bobby.
65 yards in the first half. That might be on path to set the LFL record. 65 yards in one half.
Very good. And don't forget, in her first game, and BC's first game of this LFL Canada season, Manu toted the pig for 108 yards. 2nd and 3. Hansen from under center. Handing it off to Manu again, right side. Good blocking, plenty of running room, picking up speed, and looking to get it into the end zone.
Great run by Stephanie Manu. I think it's coming back to watch this hold on the line of scrimmage right here. That is,
That's not a hold, that's a takedown.
That might be the best hold I've ever seen in football. I mean, that has to come back. It was a great run by Stephanie Manu, but that hold right there, that could win an award.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first, second down.
You had the call, Bobby, and that's our referee, Mark Newlove. BC has been their own worst enemy because they had a few long runs called back due to penalties, Bobby.
All night long. Look, there's one hold right there, downfield holding. I got to blame the coaches a little bit right here. I know what the referees are trying to get away with. There's another one right there, lets the Hanson get outside. They're getting long runs, but because of the holds, this is just bad coaching out front. Another one right here. It's not even close. That's a takedown. That's a WWE move. You can't do that in the LFL.
So BC will have it second down, but backed up deep into their own territory, 2nd and 15. Hanson handing it off to Manu, right side. Another good gain. I see no flags, so maybe BC finally did it correctly and properly. And letting Manu add to her yardage total.
Wow, Manu is a beast, man. She has been big since she's been little, Van Earl. Straight handoff right there. Bobbles the ball a little bit, gets outside of Divine Burton, turns the corner, goes right into Whitney Peronis right there. Wow, what a run right there. Peronis feels like she was playing rugby right back at Slippery Rock College.
A gain of 19 yards for Manu and the Angel offense. Plenty good enough for a first down. Now in Toronto territory. Hanson taking her time, working from the Toronto 16-yard line. Little end around to Elisa Garcia, wide open, got a block, and she's in. Touchdown, BC Angels and Elisa Garcia. No flags on the field this time.
Everybody in the house, including me, thought the ball was going to go to Stephanie Manu. Watch this, you fake it to Manu, and Garcia, the rocket, comes around the end. There's nobody there. She can sprint home wide open into the end zone. Great call. BC back in business.
One last key block from Ashley Petrie at the 1-yard line allowed Garcia to get it into the end zone. BC has picked up where they left off from the first half, scoring on their first offensive possession here in the third quarter. And right now, it's an 11-point lead for Hanson and the Angels as they line up for the conversion after the score. Hanson, whistle stops play. Could be a false start, could be a delay of game. Mark Newlove.
Dead ball foul. Delay of game. Offense, replay the try.
So the conversion try will be backed up 5 yards for Hanson and the Angels.
You have to blame that on Hanson. That's the quarterback right there. You got to keep your eyes on the clock. 35-second play clock. You can't let it run out, especially on an extra point.
Especially on an extra
point. For them to advance in the playoffs, you can't have little mistakes like that.
Handoff to Manu. Not even close, so the conversion after the score, no good. The score remains. BC 25, Toronto 14.
Vander, watch this, away from the ball, Christina Borgnine right into Devine Burton. Wow.
And ironically enough, Devine Burton is one of the players we have wired up. And Devine Burton is certainly not shy about talking.
Get the go, baby! All day! All day! All day! That's right, nothing! Nothing! Get the on your side! Go, go, go! Go, go, go! That's right, baby, nowhere!
She is the skinny version of Tessa Barrera. The numbers for Devine Burton, not all that great in the first half, Bob.
Devine Burton, no, she's not having a great game. She's having a great game talking, but play-wise, not so far.
Exactly. Inside handoff for Toronto to Alicia Emerson. Good, deceptive misdirection play for the Triumph on first down and a good pickup of 9 yards.
Good play, misdirection right there. You think she's going left. It's a tight end inside handoff. She takes off all the way down for a first down. They got to make something happen quick here. Here we go again. Toronto again in their third game. They're going to have to come from behind again, Van Earl.
There's a look at Stevie Schnur, a key performer for the BC Angels, unable to play and dress tonight due to an ACL knee injury. There is still some hope that she could return to the Angel lineup. Off a 2nd and 1 for Toronto. Crystal Hall picks up the first down. The Triumph drive continues.
the game breaker. I formation, Crystal Hall right up the middle. You have to put the ball in her hands to win this game. I would give it to her every play. She is the game breaker.
Now a 1st and 10 for Toronto. The numbers for Villa Gonzalo in the first half, very weak, very unimpressive. But a 1st and 10, Villa Gonzalo keeps it herself, fights for yardage, picks up 7 yards on that tough quarterback sneak run.
There's got to be a sense of urgency right there. Quarterback sneak, yeah, it's great when you need a yard, but you go to 7 yards, it's a great run, don't get me wrong, but they have to score points, and they have the weapons to do it. Here we go again. They can pass the ball. We've seen her do it, and they're running the ball right up the middle.
And in the first half, the Toronto defense was looking much improved, but now, over the last 5-6 minutes of action, they have returned to their struggling, sputtering ways, showing no rhythm. Now they're taking way too much time in the huddle. 2nd and 3. No rhythm to this drive so far. A bad exchange. And Villa Gonzalo is taken down and trying to avoid the sack. That could easily be intentional grounding. I was just saying they're having no rhythm. That was an ugly play.
I'm not sure what Villa Gonzalo was trying to do. I think she tried to do a silent count without calling the play. She got the snap, but it was unsecured snap, obviously. Then she tries to throw the ball away. Right there, she's looking like a rookie. Looks like you said that, Earl. Like the girl we saw 2 weeks ago.
Kate Marshall with the sack for BC, so it'll be 3rd and 9 now. Again, just walking out of the huddle, not looking like they're on the same page. From the BC 17-yard line, Villa Gonzalo from the shotgun, looking to go to the air. Across the middle, in and out of the hands of Tiff Russell. That ball should have been caught.
That's their clutch receiver right there, Tiff Russell. It was a great pass, actually, by Villa Gonzalo. Got the ball right on the money. Tiff Russell, out of all people who catches everything, drops that one. It's showing right now, in all elements, Toronto's not playing.
Now they face a 4th and 9. 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
The way they're playing right now, Vander, they wouldn't even win during their bye week the way they're playing this series.
They are trailing by 11 and looking all out of sorts. On a 4th and 9, reverse, handoff to Sylvie Menagre. No gain on the play. That's one of the ugliest drives I've seen from all the LFL I've been watching, Bobby.
But they have to have it, too. They got Mouse to Hall. They can give it to Crystal Hall. They have the talent. They give it to Pinnock. And they're not doing anything on this drive when they need points.
So BC will take over on downs as a dejected Devine Burton heads to the bench. BC pulling away. Elisa Garcia giving them an 11-point lead. Back in Vancouver as we listen in to BC head coach Kevin Snell.
Let's get out blocks. Receivers, you can't hold anymore. Okay, I don't want any more holding calls. No more holding calls. Still calling in the huddle.
For more on Alicia Bell's injury, we take you down to the sideline and Mitch Mortazza.
All right, guys, 2:10 left in the 3rd quarter. I'm with Alicia Bell, the star defensive end. Apparently a strained ACL?
Yeah, LCL. It's frustrating. I was running full tilts and put all my weight on my left foot, and I got pulled to the right, and I twisted it.
Well, we're going to check with you here, probably get an MRI when you get back to Toronto, see if you can return back to action.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Mitch Mortazza. You know, Bobby, I think it's the green tie.
Green tie's looking good. He's kind of got that George Clooney look on the sideline.
Wow. That's large. 1st and 10 for Hanson and the Angels working from their own 17. Handoff to Manu, left side. Oh! Whoa! Big collision between Manu and Jaleesa McCrary of the Toronto defense.
Watch Jaleesa McCrary right here. She's a stalwart player from Philadelphia. She played running back and defense in Philly. She can play anywhere on anybody's team, Vanderbilt.
Still out there with plenty of intensity on display as Marianne Hanson, Kate Marshall, and the Angel offense tries to add to their 11-point lead. Approaching the final 90 seconds of this 3rd quarter, 2nd and 7 for Hanson. Manu still in the backfield. Hanson working underneath center. Back to pass, right down the middle. Nobody there. Must have been a blown assignment by the Angels receivers.
Actually, the pass was there. It was a hook and go. It would have been a touchdown. She ran the hook. She was supposed to do a hook and go. It would have been a touchdown. Really broken this game wide open.
Incomplete. Leads us to a 3rd and 7. BC working from their own 20-yard line. Again, working from underneath center is Hanson. Handoff to Manu. Big hole right up the middle, across midfield, and into Toronto territory. A gain of 9 yards. Plenty enough for another BC Angel first down.
Great blocking up front by Roxy Rowe. A big hole right there for Stephanie Manu to run in and run some more time off the clock.
Another 1st and 10, now working from the Toronto 21-yard line. Final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Pitch to Manu, right side, gets a block, cuts back against the grain, finds plenty of room, dashes for the end zone and scores. Stephanie Manu in the final few seconds of this 3rd quarter, adding to the BC Angel lead.
What a cutback right here by Manu. I haven't seen anybody since Emmett Smith make that cut. Look again, another jump cut right around Pinnock, in for a score. This might ice the ball game right here.
One of the better runs in this LFL Canada season. That was impressive from Stephanie Manu as Hanson and the Angels line up for the conversion after the score. This crowd here in British Columbia loving the domination on display courtesy of the home team. Oh, fumbled the snap. Conversion is no good. That's some ugly play right there, courtesy of the Angels. And despite their big lead right now, Bobby, at 31-14, the Angels have had plenty of sloppy plays out there, a lot of mishandling and failure to protect the football.
A bad snap right there. All their extra points they're not converging on. Right there, she's in the pocket. She finds Kate Marshall. Kate can't hold the ball. There's Stephanie made no blocking. They can't get the extra points. No, this is going to kill them if they do to get to Laundry Girl. A mishandled snap right there. They have to execute to win the championship.
Absolutely. Those kind of details and sloppy edges will cost them and possibly cost them an appearance in the first ever Lingerie Bowl for LFL Canada. Toronto takes over. Villa Gonzalo goes to the air, throws into triple coverage, trying to connect with Crystal Hall. Ball is overthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Toronto as we have reached the end of the 3rd quarter. Stephanie Manu and the Angels totally dominating. Back in Vancouver, where Stephanie Manu, Jessica Hopkins, and the rest of the BC defense trying to hold on to a big lead against Villa Gonzalo and the Triumph offense. Pitch to Petshana Pinnock. Where's she been offensively? Look at the effectiveness of that running back, and we got a little scrum down there.
Here we go.
Ugly. Having to separate. But you could tell Petshana Pinnock ran angry that time.
You're right, Banner. Where has this been? That's right there. Pinnock, she can score from anywhere and run through anybody, but we haven't seen her in like a whole full quarter.
Maybe for Toronto, that'll get their offense back in gear and help them find a rhythm again. 1st and 10. Fake the pitch, going to the air, over the middle. Oh! Almost a beautiful catch by Donna Paul as Villa Gonzalo threw into double coverage.
A fake pitch, she drops back in the pocket, in traffic, she throws a great pass, should have been a touchdown by Donna Paul. She drops it, you have to catch the ball. That's why they don't win games. In clutch situations, you have to make plays happen.
2nd and 10 for the Toronto offense. Just underway here in the 4th and final quarter. You see the deficit that the Triumph is facing. They've got to get it into the end zone and get it in there quick. Handoff to Pinnock. That's Crystal Hall, my mistake. Dropped for a loss. Big display of defense and gang tackling by the BC Angels.
Plays like that run a lot of time off the clock. I got to question that play selection. I love getting the ball to Crystal Hall, but not on a straight run up the middle.
Jackson and Moore credited with the tackle on that play. And they do give the Toronto offense a 1-yard gain. Forward progress. So it'll be 3rd and 9 now. for Villa Gonzalo from underneath center. The pitch to Pinnock, left side. Here comes the bulldozer, taken down and corralled by Jessica Hopkins.
Great play by Jessica Hopkins. I don't blame her for not wanting to get right in front of her. It's a sweep left right here. Watch Hopkins come up. She grabs her high, doesn't want to get right in front of her. That's like a Mack truck coming through you. But we got another flag, man.
Another flag on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Holding whistled by Mark Newlove and his refereeing crew. Back up Toronto. Just when it looks like they're starting to get a little rhythm, they get flagged for holding, and they're back into their own territory. So they'll be facing a 3rd and 16 from their own 24-yard line.
It's got to be tough for the coach right there and the whole team. They haven't won all last year or this year. If they lose tonight, they're going to be 0-7 in the LFL.
As we hit the 6-minute mark, the pitch to Pinnock, met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of 1 yard.
Again, I got a question of play call. The urgency's not there. Look at this. It's a basic sweep to the right. There's no blocking, absolutely zero blocking right there. Pinnock trying to punish people, but again, they're just running their clock off when they need to score points.
So again, the Toronto offense in danger of turning the ball over on downs to a team that they are trailing big time right now, 31-14. 4th and 17 for Villa Gonzalo and Toronto. Little play action, Villa Gonzalo. Caught over the tons of touchdown, Toronto. Caught by Tiff Russell. Nobody really there defensively. Wide open waltz into the end zone. Toronto finally with success.
How can this be the same Toronto team? Now they look like a seasoned pro team, wide open play action. They can be so disheveled, then they come back with plays like this. Now they're back in the ball game. A lot of time left.
31-20, an 11-point gap. As Toronto lines up for the conversion after the score. Where did that come from? Totally out of nowhere. They were looking horrible, and Villa Gonzalo converts after the score to make it a 10-point ball game. Down to the field for more with Mitch Bartaza and BC's head coach.
All right, guys, 5:10 left, 4th quarter, down on the field here with Coach Kevin Snell of BC Angels. You guys got a 10-point commanding lead, although that was a pretty good comeback by Toronto. What do you got to do in the last 5-10 here to bring this home?
What do you think, Mitch? We're giving it to our workhorse, Steffi. She's going to grind it out. She's been doing it for us all year. We're going to rely on our tight ends, receiver blocking. We're going to take it home with our girl, Manu.
So it is. There you go, guys. Manu will bring this one home. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Now that's a good game plan right there in the final few minutes of this contest with a 10-point lead. Give it to the workhorse, Bobby.
Stephanie Manu, you know what? I know a lot of people in Philadelphia and Chicago might disagree with me, but the way she is developing into the #1 running back in the entire LF. She is over the century mark already tonight, Van Earl.
Marianne Hansen taking her time, working the play clock and the game clock to try to maintain this 10-point lead for the Angels. There it is, handoff Manu, and there it is. Another big, strong run from number 8 in blue. Stephanie Manu has once again been awesome for the BC offense. You talk about toting the pig, Bobby. Stephanie Manu knows how to tote the pig.
She gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on. Look at these cuts right there. She's not only quick, but she's strong. She punishes people and gets stronger and stronger, running through people, running through the secondary, running through Pinnock, and Pinnock's a stud.
Absolutely. Stephanie Manu already over 100 yards, and Bobby mentioned earlier that he might get some argument from LFL fans in Philadelphia and Chicago, referring to Mary Rose Roach, who has been playing with a passion, and Christelle Ferrari, or as we call her, Enzo Harris, for the Chicago Bliss. But I have to agree with you, Stephanie Manu is right in their category for top running backs in LFL football, whether it's Canada or America.
BC is looking strong right now. If they can hold on to this 10-point lead, they look okay, and they might be able to advance and have a shot at the Lingerie Bowl, which is going to be played right here in Vancouver.
Again, Marianne Hansen, the quarterback, working the clock, and still handing it off to Stephanie Manu, who picks up more yards, this time a gain of 9, and still full of energy. Folks, if you don't think LFL packs the intensity, listen to these collisions.
Awesome blocking, guys. That is all of you.
Stephanie Manu sharing in the glory with her teammates.
Stephanie Manu can tote the pig better than anybody for a 9-yard gain right here, Van Earl.
Now a 2nd-and-1 situation. Marianne Hansen and her BC offense showing no signs of faltering. In complete control, and really they gained control of this game midway through the 2nd quarter. And even though Toronto has scored a touchdown to cut their lead to 10, BC has been in charge of the contest. Again, the handoff to Manu. Wow. She should really get ripped. She only gained 3 yards that time.
The only shot Toronto has, and this is all going to come to coaching too, the defense has to start to try to strip the ball. There's only 3 minutes left in the game. They're down 10 points. They got to somehow come up with the ball.
1st and goal for BC. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Gotta agree with you, Bobby. Their only chance is a turnover. Gotta go for that pigskin. 1st and 10 for Marianne Hansen and the BC Angels. Working the clock. Taking their time. Oh! Pig on the floor! Recovered by Toronto. And that was not Stephanie Manu in the backfield.
Wow, that's huge. Now, why wasn't Manu in the game? I don't understand that at all, Van Earl. She's toting the pig, not fumbling the football. They make a change at running back in the first play. There's a fumble.
That makes no sense. Handoff intended for Christina Bordignon, who doesn't really get a lot of time at running back. That's one of the strangest mistakes that we've seen committed by Kevin Snell and his BC Angel team. And all of a sudden, Toronto has life. They're down 10, but hey, in this game, 2.5 minutes is plenty of time to score 10 or more points. Villa Gonzalo from under center, Pinnock in the backfield as Toronto tries to rally. Villa Gonzalo scrambling to her right. Oh, tries to get rid of it. We'll see if they credit a sack or if she was able to get rid of the football.
Pretty sure she got rid of it right there, but this is a huge, I can't believe the mistake by Coach Snell by taking Manu out. I mean, right now, Toronto's got a shot to score some points and possibly get back in the game.
Play was ruled an incomplete pass. Timeout Toronto. All of a sudden, the Triumph might have a chance. Next week on LFL Saturday Night Football, Nikki Johnson and the Virginia Rage travel to Saskatoon to take on Furler, Heatherford, and Annie Erler and the Sirens in a battle of Saskatchewan. We are here for the final 2 minutes in Vancouver as Toronto trying to rally. Down 10. Villa Gonzalo looking to throw, tucks it herself, crosses midfield, picks up a good gain, and a first down for Toronto. She looks a little shaken up.
They got to speed it up. It's a great play by Villa Gonzalo, making something happen, but the clock's running. She has to get up and get on the ball and get this team moving.
Picked up a first down. Now working from the BC 22. Pitch to Pinnock, left side. Again, the bull rush from Pinnock.
They're down to the 10, Van Earl. They got a shot here. They got to get the urgency up. Get up, though. They have to get up and play.
Clock is still ticking, and it looks like there's a scrum for a loose ball. Referee down on his belly on the turf. Clock is still ticking. Oh,
there's punches being thrown down there.
Here comes a flag. Clock is still ticking. Hammer Jackson in the middle of it. That's no surprise.
The Hammer, of course, she'd be in the middle of it.
Finally, the clock stopped, but it seems to me the referees need to put some more time back on the clock. Here's Mark Newlove.
Dead ball. Personal foul.
Oh.
First down.
Not a good time for that penalty for Hammer Jackson and the BC Angels.
A horrible time for that, especially with this game and reach 10 points. You can't have personal fouls like that.
And they have put some time on the clock, so 1:28 to go. Throw to the end zone.
Oh, man.
just a little too high for Donna Paul.
She was there. The ball did. It was a little high release. Donna Paul was open in the end zone.
2nd and 10 now. Toronto with 11 yards to go to the end zone. Trailing by 10. 1:21 left. Blood on display. End around. Donna Paul has it, thrown to the end zone, caught!
Wow, here we go. Holy cow.
Caught by Tiff Russell, touchdown Toronto. Now the Triumph are within 4.
A lot of time left. You're right, blood on the field. A little reverse pass back to the old quarterback, Donna Paul. She throws it to Miss Clutch in the end zone. Tiff Russell, wow.
Wide open, too. Donna Paul, 2 for 2. When throwing the pigskin through the air.
Her QB rating is 158 tonight. Maybe she should be the starting quarterback the way she's throwing.
Not a bad idea. Because Villa Gonzalo has struggled with consistency. Yes, she's come up with some big plays. As you see the blood, courtesy of Tiff Russell. The conversion, the pitch to Crystal Hall, denied by the BC defenders. So it'll remain a 4-point game at 31-27. But you got to believe they'll be lining up for the onside kick.
They have to be. This is a straight pitch there, a sweep right, nothing there, but they have to try the onside kick with 1:10 left. It's getting exciting, Vandal. Who knows what's going to happen?
Steve Moore, the head coach of Toronto, with some final instructions for Petshana Pinnock. Kevin Snell doing the same, offering his team some final instructions. Toronto will indeed line up for the onside kick. Stephanie Busatil will once again handle the kicking duties for the Triumph. Bounce off the referee.
Wow, it's open.
It looks like it's recovered by Toronto.
Who's got it? Toronto's got it.
And the referee signals Toronto Triumph ball.
Holy Toledo, they got the ball back. That's unbelievable. I thought I saw it hit the wall, though, Van Earl.
I thought it hit the wall, or maybe the ref. We'll have to check it out on a replay. Oh, man, here comes Devine Burton and getting a face full.
I don't blame her. This is like the Seattle Green Bay game. The one ref said it was their ball. She wants the ball. The other ref said no. We'll see what's going to happen. This is definitely the LFL taking the NFL refs back.
1:06 to go. Toronto with the ball. Let's listen in.
Hang on.
It's out of bounds.
It's just,
as far as I know, if they free kick the ball out of bounds, it's just like it's a foul.
Foul? Yeah. It did. Did it hit the boards first?
Hit the boards square between my legs. It did.
All right, so same options.
So they
Free kick or their ball, or it has to be a re-kick.
This does sound like the NFL official. Wow.
I was about to ask you to translate, but I'm not sure you can. I think what I heard them decide is that the ball, the kickoff, hit the wall.
What we understand, the ball's not live if it hits the boards first.
The ball hit the ground first.
No, it hit the boards first.
No, it did not.
It hit the boards
It
first.
did not.
So it's out of bounds, you're going to re-kick it.
No, it did not. Are you serious? What's he doing?
Devine Burton pleading her case on behalf of her Toronto teammates.
I think official Newlow should flip a coin just to solve this.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Toronto, 5-yard penalty, re-kick the ball.
So now Toronto will try an onside kick again after being flagged for kicking it off the boards. I don't know. It could have hit the ref.
Now, wait. If they kick it out of bounds, they should get a chance to get the ball back again. It should be the other team's ball.
You are indeed correct, Bobby. So this is a blown call by the refs. Toronto should not be having a re-kick. It should be BC ball, but here goes the re-kick anyway. BC does recover on the Toronto 20-yard line, and now they'll just get into the victory formation and run out the clock.
Can you imagine if they got the ball and it came down to that play, if that was going to keep them out of the Lingerie Bowl? Wow, because of referee's mistake, it does look like the NFL officials out there.
The NFL replacement.
Replacement officials.
But I got to check you on that. Stephanie Manu cheering on her teammates, looking for some blocks and reminding everybody, including herself, to protect that football. as we play the final 62 seconds. 1st and 10 for BC. Of course, they hand it off to Manu, who picks up good yardage and stays in bounds.
Stays in bounds. Smart play by Manu right there. And by the way, Vanos was just named the game MVP. Look at that, an LFL Canada record, 166 yards tonight. Wow.
That is awesome. 166 yards for number 8 for BC. That is an awesome performance. Clock continuing to run. Marianne Hansen taking her time in the BC huddle. They lead it by 4, and they're very close to improving to 2-1, barring a major mishap here.
Looks like they're still in the hunt after 21 seconds. They're still in the hunt for a possibility of advancing to the Lingerie Bowl here in Vancouver.
Hand off to Manu, who got shoved into the boards, but the clock now it stops at 12 seconds. Frustration on display. Whitney Peranish ready to get into it.
Whitney Peranish, this rugby player from Slippery Rock. She's a tough cookie. She'll go after anybody.
She's an LFL US player, and she is frustrated by the fact that Toronto is about to drop to 0-3 when the expectations were so high going into this inaugural season of LFL Canada. Tackle right at the line of scrimmage of Manu. No gain, but that will do it right there as the clock will expire. Great display by Stephanie Manu and the BC Angels as they hold on for a 4-point win, 31-27 in front of the home crowd here in Vancouver.
Great game. You got to hand it to BC. They did what they had to do. On the other hand, Toronto, it's been snowball, and they just can't win a game. I would hate to be in their locker room, Van Earl. Just got to be a horrible feeling not winning a game in the LFL.
And even after gaining 166 yards, Manu still looks full of energy.
She is. She gets stronger. It's unbelievable. She had 108 yards the first game and 166 tonight. The final stats, pretty even right there. Total yards, 232 to 215, but the big turnover in the first half, the Villa Gonzalo interception, cost them the game.
Outstanding job by the BC Angels. They took control of this contest midway through the second quarter. Toronto with one last gasp, but in the end, Marianne Hansen, Stephanie Manu, and the BC Angels prevailed, improved to 2-1, and keep hope alive for an appearance in the first ever Lingerie Bowl for LFL Canada. We'll see you next week from Saskatoon. The final score, BC 31, Toronto 27.